Krishna. I received a question from one of the course participants. They had referred to another version of the Bhagavad Gita and got this impression that Jnana is higher than Bhakti, especially explained through the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Their line of logic was that how Krishna in the 10.8 says that knowledge about him leads to devotion. And later in 10 and 11, he says that performing devotional service leads to more knowledge, buddhi yoga, and destruction of ignorance. So then this can apparently look like knowledge leads to devotion, and more devotion leads to more knowledge. So knowledge is higher. Let us quickly see how this understanding is flawed, because knowledge is not proprietary right of Jnana Yoga alone. Jnana and Vairagya are also considered as the byproduct of devotion, bhakti. However, there is a difference between the Jnana of the Jnana Yoga and the Jnana that is being explained as a byproduct of Bhakti Yoga. All of these yogas are all dependent on Bhakti, need to have at least a little trace of Bhakti in order for them to be actually successful. However, if you read the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhakti section, there is no mention of it being dependent on anything. So then, how do we understand the statement of Krishna in 10.8 where he says, Bhajat, the one who understands me in this way actually engages in devotional service? Is that understanding not Jnana? Yes, that is Jnana, but that is not the Jnana of the Jnana Yoga. The Jnana of the Jnana Yoga is Jnana about impersonal Brahman, where the discrimination of spirit from matter and how we are not this matter but spirit, the neti kind of a jnana. It is just dry speculative knowledge. However, what Krishna is speaking about here is very clearly a devotional jnana about his glories, that how he is the source of everything, that everything emanates from him and maintained by him. So here we are not speaking about dry speculative knowledge. What Krishna is referring to in the Bhagavad Gita 10.8 is not the impersonal jnana. He is referring to his own glories. So when we are hearing and chanting or reading Bhagavad Gita and philosophy about Krishna, we are not engaging in Jnana Yoga. We are engaging in Shravanam. We are engaging in the remembrance, hearing about and remembering about Krishna and speaking about Krishna. So that is aspect of Bhakti. So studying Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita is actually an anga of Bhakti, is part of devotional service. It is being spoken by the Supreme Lord, and here the glories of Supreme Lord are there. So we're trying to speak and hear and understand the glories of Krishna. So the more we understand how wonderful Krishna is, our appreciation for Krishna grows. So here, what is that? Iti means is not the jnana of Jnana Yoga, but appreciation of Krishna, knowledge about Krishna's glories. So once we have that, our devotion becomes stronger, and the more devotion we perform, as Krishna says in the 10.9, then as he refers in 10.10, buddhi comes. So bhajatam priti. So this buddhi yoga here does not mean that jnana yoga. This buddhi yoga is basically enamam upayantite. He's saying, what kind of knowledge is that? Dadami buddhi yogam tam, through which you will come to me. So basically he's speaking in devotion. And the same in 10.11 also. Jnana deepena bhasvata. So the Jnana Deepa that he is saying does not mean that Krishna is offering Jnana Yoga to us. The knowledge about Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, the knowledge with which we can actually understand the greatness of Krishna. And he is giving that by his mercy. So to show special mercy to whom is he giving? Only to his devotees, not to anybody else. So this knowledge is not the impersonal Brahma Jnana, which is unfavorable for devotional service, which is pratikula to bhakti. This is actually bhakti anukula Jnana, that the devotion which is the Jnana of about the Supreme Lord, the knowledge about the greatness of the Supreme Lord, which is anukula to bhakti. So in that sense, devotion that Krishna the knowledge that Krishna referring to is also devotional knowledge. The knowledge that Krishna is referring to at the later as part of Chatush, that is also devotional knowledge. Just because the word jnana comes, that does not mean it is referring to Jnana Yoga, because jnana is not a proprietary right of Jnana Yoga. Rather, actually, bhakti integrates jnana within it. It is not dependent on jnana. Bhakti includes jnana in it. So all the other yoga processes are present within bhakti. So this jnana we are referring to is knowledge about Krishna's glories. It is jnana. The understanding is devotion, and it leads to devotion, and it further leads to more appreciation of Krishna and more knowledge about Krishna, which will deepen one's love for Krishna. So in that way, whatever references to knowledge comes, that is not the jnana of jnana yoga, which refers to the impersonal jnana, which is pratikula to bhakti, which is unfavorable to bhakti. However, here this jnana is devotional knowledge about Krishna. Also, to understand the message of Krishna, we can see what was Arjuna's understanding. So, immediately following the Chatushloki, Arjuna in verses 10.12 and 13 is explaining his understanding of whatever Krishna spoke so far. So, in that, it's very clear. Arjuna is saying Krishna is Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitra, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adi, Devam, Ajam, Vibhum. These are all very clearly bhakti understanding. This is not the understanding of Jnana Yoga. So, if our Krishna had given more deeper understanding or glorified Jnana Yoga, Arjuna's paraphrasing of the knowledge that he received would be different. He is not saying we are all one, I am God, you are God. He is not saying about that. Param Brahma, he is not just Brahma. Soul is Brahma, but Krishna is Param Brahma. Understanding that context also can be helpful to clarify how the jnana referred to in the Chatushloki is not the jnana of the Jnana Yoga, but it is devotional. Thank you. Hope that is clarified.